So yeah, I'm an idiot. So the other day when I was talking about the whole Walmart con that they're doing for collectors on the 18th, yeah, there was a little detail I forgot to mention that's pretty important, and I feel stupid for not mentioning it, but that's only because I pretty much had no faith in like this thing that they were doing. And if you're really confused as to what I'm talking about, in my not my last video, I mean not counting the YouTube shorts at least, and the Captain America toy review, I did a video talking about how Hasbro, I'm pretty sure it was only Hasbro, I'm not sure if anybody else joined in, but they decided to release a couple of like new exclusive figures, for Walmart and stuff, and that, this was going to be like this kind of like holothon with Target, where you would get a whole bunch of these exclusive figures and you'll be able to kind of get them. And there's like a certain date for like when it kind of begins, meaning like, oh, the day that it all begins, the day that it all starts, you better get them because they're gonna be hard to find later on. And obviously that was definitely the case for Holothon, because I remember when that was such a big thing, and collectors, including myself, were going crazy. I'm pretty sure I made a video talking about it too. That for some odd reason, in some targets, they were actually starting, a little further ahead than what it was originally dated. Because I don't remember the exact date of when they were supposed to do it. All I remember was that it was on a Friday it was supposed to begin, but like literally a week before, there were like carts full of like the new merchandise, and then they were showing like in the end cap of like a whole bunch of like Ninja Turtles too from NECA Toys. And I remember people were going nuts because, hey, why are they doing this so early? And we never got an answer to why they actually did that. And one thing I also forgot to mention about that certain event is that even the Holothon website, they started pretty much on that day that it was supposed to begin. That they started doing like orders for like those exclusive figures. You know what I mean? And a lot of these figures range from like like the Team NT Future Toy figure. If you want to buy either the basic version or the one that has Kevin Eastman's names in it, kind of like that. And of course, this whole thing was funded by like NECA Toys. They joined in a couple of other companies too, but I'm not 100% sure what they're called, because long story short, I really was in on it just for the NECA figures. I really didn't really care about all the other stuff, but that's all fine and dandy. So of course, obviously, it was about time till other stores wanted to try and do that exact same thing. So of course, you got this weird like Walmart con thing that honestly came out of nowhere. Though I've known like nothing about it pretty much, and the only closest thing that I was a little bit of aware of like what Walmart was doing was that I know that for a short time Walmart was actually like releasing like exclusive figures, like the Guardians of the Galaxy Star-Lord figure, which was Walmart exclusive. And I remember months back they announced a couple of GI Joe figures, from the GI Joe classified toy line. Like I forgot one of the characters, but I know one of them was called Range Viper, which was like that weird like zombie Cobra Trooper that got like the brains showing, and that thing looks so cool. But god damn it, why does it have to be a Walmart exclusive? You know what I mean? So there was hints of this since the very beginning, and obviously I made a video talking about it, how this is just not going to work because it's Walmart. You know that they're either going to be no products at all, like they're either going to know pretty much nothing about it, none of the stuff gets pulled out, or maybe it's true, maybe we will get a ton of this stuff. But the thing is, Scalper Central, it's gonna be like kind of that thing. You never know if they start like a day earlier or so, and it's not. Honestly, it's not a huge surprise when they do that, because Walmart is like the most unfriendliest like place to go to when it comes to collectors, and even just retail, like 100% honestly. And I'm not here to just rant about the stores like way of doing things. Okay, I've done that once before, and that's kind of ridiculous. So me kind of ranting on about it, it's like beating a dead horse. So I'm just gonna jump straight to the point to why I'm making this video talking about it again. And it's for two reasons. Because one, apparently I'm gonna end up going to Walmart anyway, because by pure coincidence, I have an appointment. I have an eye doctor's appointment because I've been wearing these damn glasses for such a long time. And I want to be able to kind of get that out of the way before school year starts, because college is Yeah, it's something, all right. So I wanted to get all that stuff out of the way. So yeah, the fact that the day that it begins is also the same day of my appointment, I was like, oh, okay. And the biggest thing is that Walmart's near the place that I have to go to for my appointment. So it's like, oh, okay. So maybe we're on to something. Maybe, just maybe, I can actually cover it. But there's a catch, and I'm gonna talk about it. The catch is, I don't think you guys are gonna find anything. No, we've all been bamboozled because I made the dumb mistake of not mentioning before. I think this is an online only deal that they got kind of going on. So there you go. There's the biggest kicker. I should have said that right at the beginning of the video. Why did I wait almost 5 minutes to say anything? I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna hit you with the cold shoulder right now. I'm pretty sure it's definitely is just mostly like a Walmart thing. Like it's like I think the stuff is going to be maybe up for like pre-order and then that's about it. And that sounds kind of weird, right? It's like wait a minute. So Josh, you basically fooled your audience. I gave you guys false information, right? Not exactly, and I'm going to explain why. Because let's be honest here, when you go through this whole ordeal and trying to like look more into like what this thing actually is, they never really mentioned that it's an online only type deal. They never really said that. Neither does every other like websites and all that kind of talk about this type of stuff. Where I'm like, okay, so they announced a whole bunch of these new figures and a couple of old ones. So it's like, okay, I mean, let's see what's the gist is. You never know. Sure, let's give it a try. And like I say, this is all mostly funded by Hasbro. Not funded, but you know what I mean. It's mostly going to be Hasbro products like G.I. Joe Classifieds and Marvel Legends for the most part. I would assume maybe other stuff too, but for the most part, I've only heard Marvel Legends and G.I. Joe Classified. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. So many of these like new figures, some of them I know those like the three new GI Joe Classified figures look amazing by the way. I love that we're finally getting into the zombie aspect of it, like especially with the mole rat character. That's an army builder for sure, but that's also you know another issue for scalpers. They're going to be the one probably buying it, and then of course for collectors too. Why wouldn't you want to have a whole army of those guys? I mean, come on, man. I really hope we get more stuff like that in the future. As for Marvel Legends, there's two, three-ish figures we gotta talk about. So there's the Hulk Joe Fixit deluxe figure, which I remember that was announced not too long ago, or maybe a month or so. Being released as a Walmart exclusive. And now you got the brand new like six armed spider. I shouldn't really call it brand new, but you got the six armed Spider-Man and Morbius 2-pack, which the internet has been tearing apart because these are both basically old figures just re-released, and of course the six armed Spider-Man just slightly retooled to kind of have like a sort of like upper articulation because the old version didn't have that. And of course Walmart exclusive. So there you go. So you're probably thinking, okay, so what's the deal, right? Obviously, when you put the word exclusive in there, I mean that kind of at least tells me that okay, they're gonna be exclusive towards the store, so I'm gonna have to get my ass up just to go to Walmart, right? I guess not because I see like all these different like advertisements. Even when you go on the website, it's barely advertised at all. There's like maybe like one little banner, and then they'll say something like, pre-orders will be up, some shit like that. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me that this entire time we all probably thought that this was going to be like an in-store thing when in reality it's actually not. So you had to buy these online on their website. Is that what we're getting at? And I tried to look further more into it, and honestly I couldn't even find nothing else about it except when they talk about pre-orders. And the moment that hit, I'm like, damn, that's a shame. And honestly, that's even worse because, like I say, you're barely going to find anything when you go to Walmart to begin with. Half the time, you don't even find what you're looking for. Even when you do, you got to deal with like the people that are like the most unfriendliest like employees ever. I mean, I get it, okay? Retail is extremely difficult. It's not easy at all, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be an ass. I'm just saying. And obviously, like I say, not everyone really kind of understands the collector game kind of going on. So of course, if you ask somebody about that, they're not gonna know what that is. And a small part of me doesn't blame them because even when it comes to Holothon, I remember I was asking questions about that. Nobody knew what that was, and I'm like, wait a minute, but this is fueled by Target though. I don't understand. Like, are the managers just not like, how does that work? It kind of makes you want to be like an inside agent. It's like you almost want to know exactly what's the deal with these stores, because it's obviously it's very selective. Because I'm just gonna say it right now, if you live in California or something, you're like the most luckiest people in the world, because you guys get that stuff first before we do in the other side of the U.S. So that sucks, you know. Listen, I'm not trying to tell people where I live, okay? I prefer people don't, because I don't want people coming towards me and whatever, or towards anyone that I know. And I don't live in a good place, so I'd rather not get harassed and stuff like that. Which, I mean, yeah, I live in the gunshots everywhere neighborhood type deal. So yeah, you got that going on, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that this isn't looking so well, and it's like, damn, I hate that we get like this nice, beautiful selection of figures, and it's like, okay, I mean, here's another like roadblock ahead. Okay, so it turns out you gotta go on Walmart's website to buy these figures, which that's just terrible, because even their website's garbage. It's like, it's honestly, it's worse than Target's, because Target's is not bad. It's just that they're not very discreet as to like if the items are really in stock or not. They'll tell you that it's in stock, but then like literally they'll tell you that it's not in your area. And then there's like the whole weird pre-order aspect of it too, where you'll find some figures that'll say that it's pre-ordered, but then they're already in stores. So yeah, Target's website is very weird. But when it comes to Walmart, it's even worse, because the prices most of the time does not match how much they really are. Sometimes they get some of the names wrong. I remember during the Godzilla vs Kong phase, when people were going crazy over those figures, we all try to buy them, and it's like it was such a hassle, and the website honestly was not helping. Even when you try to search for the stuff, you're not gonna find it, which I'm like, okay, this is more worse than eBay too, because at least when I look up, certain name of a figure that I want to get, at least it actually does pop up, even if it tells me the most expensive one first. But you get the point, right? It's not like, wow. Like I get it. These figures need to be exclusive somewhere. And ever since the fall of Toys R Us, it's been so hard to actually find a good, genuine place to find collectibles. And I hate that I had to keep suggesting Target, because honestly, they are always on the ball when it comes to this stuff. Even if Holothon was not the huge, massive success we all kind of wanted it to be, even though it kind of was, because they did a Holothon 2.0 this year, so there you go. Obviously, I didn't participate in it because I was trying to save some cash, and then on top of that, I didn't want to go through that trouble again where I'm like, okay, I gotta like, look into like when these come out, and it's like, okay, it's like I think I could take the L, at least maybe at that point, and it's like it's not like you're never gonna see those figures again. You will. It's gonna take time. Even the other day, I think you guys saw I did the toy hunt, and I found Fugitoid, and it's like, wow, it's been such a long time since I've actually seen Fugitoid in public, and it's like, wow, that's great. It's good to know that they can survive the bomb blast of like the whole exclusivity thing, where once they're gone, they're gone. You know what I mean? Like, I've always hated that term, and I remember that kind of stuck around with NECA for a while, because I remember that they were like, how do I say it? I remember I did a video on it too, that they were gonna like stop. I wouldn't say stop. Like indefinite. Like there was like a couple of like Ninja Turtle figures that they're gonna stop selling, which was painful to hear. And it's like, okay. So hopefully that's not the same thing. I mean, who knows? Maybe I might find something. Maybe nothing related to the WalmartCon thing, but hey, okay, this is something. So yeah, that's about it, I guess. I hope you guys enjoy my little rant. I mean, originally this was not what I had planned. I wanted to talk about like the Godzilla X Kong New Empire toy leaks, which I'm pretty sure that they're not real, if I'm being honest with you. But I still wanted to talk about it anyway because of a couple aspects to it, and a couple other things Godzilla related too. So stick around for that, because yeah, I know I've been like seriously lacking in Godzilla content, but it's like, I mean, I have that weird stigma where it's like I don't want to talk about it too much, or else you get the idea. Let's put in some variety, all right? So speaking of variety, there should be a new toy review on Friday. Just check that out. Also, please check out my Captain America toy review, because for some odd reason that kind of flew under the radar. I love how my previous one got like 130 views, which is really great, but then this one got like 7, and I'm like, okay, the algorithm is seriously fighting me this time, and I hate that had that feeling that I might get like a little bit of a shadow ban because of like probably not getting recommendations, all that. So just keep an eye on that, because YouTube, it's kind of weird like that. So until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully. I mean, this video was supposed to go out yesterday, but I fell asleep because I was so tired. So I'm sorry about that. But peace out anyway, so take it easy.